Welcome back, everybody, to the Flavor in Your Ear podcast. Today, we got another special guest, as usual. My man, Danny from DSBG. He's going to talk about his brand, his skills training business, everything that he does for the basketball community down here in South Florida. We got a very good, interesting story for you today. Hopefully an inspiring one. And
Yes,
let's kick it in.
And we got to introduce George, even though he's not here.
George ain't here today, but he'll be back soon. He'll be back soon. So what's up, D?
Chilling, man.
So
Grinding.
How we get into this podcast? Again, it's a motivational podcast, right? We like to tell people stories, their journeys. People see you do a lot of stuff on your social medias, stuff that you do with WNBA players, with kids from the community here, whether it's girls or boys.
Yeah.
Camps and people always want to see like how people got there. The story to get there, right? It wasn't just overnight.
Yeah.
Like it isn't for everybody else. Everybody's got to grind. Everybody's got to work. We had Andrew on here.
Yeah.
Who talked about kind of like he does the same thing, and it took him 5 or 6 years before he got to a certain point, right? And so we want to know your backstory. How did this all begin? Obviously, I'm gonna assume you were a baller. You played ball in high school and stuff like that.
Yeah, I played at South Miami, and then I transferred to Calusa Prep right after they won states.
Okay.
And then
So you played for Fowler?
Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay.
Tim Fowler.
Yep.
That's my guy. Then I went off to college in Chicago. Too cold. I broke my thumb.
Okay.
So I left Chicago and I transferred to a JUCO in Cali, and I was doing good. Just my grades weren't right.
Yeah.
I had some D1s there and like in this area, like the South, but my grades weren't right. So that's why even all the kids I preach to now is just like, it's not just about your talent. It's about taking care of the academics and stuff. So, so after that, well, even after my JUCO 2 years, I had an opportunity to go play in China, but my passport took too long. I needed to get there in 2 weeks, and I never had a passport.
Yeah.
It was something late. My assistant coach at the JUCO, he hooked me up with the agent, and it was like something quick. And then I had to expedite my passport, but it got there like 2 days later, and it was nothing you could do. They had to grab somebody else. So after that, I started coaching at Ferguson girls, and then we went to states that year. We were like one of the top team in Florida, in 6A.
Yep.
And then after that, I went back to South Miami. My alumni, you could say,
Mm-hmm.
with Coach Doc. And we went to states first year, and then regional finals the second year.
Yeah.
And then after my first year at Ferguson, I started training them individually a lot over there, but I never took it real serious. Like, it was just my players, like people that I know. And then once I got to South Miami, I started getting more like gym time, and I was just like, I had a really good group. Like, my JV group was super tough.
Right.
And I just took it more serious. I started training them. Then other people started reaching out, can I train? So I started training a lot of the top high school kids. And then I started training some UM players, FIU players. And then it just kept going. Then I obviously was training my best friend, Erica, in her high school jersey right now.
Yep.
And then it just
took off.
People see the work. People see what, the kids that come to me, they put in the work, and they see the
development.
Yeah, so other people just started coming, and then same thing with WNBA players. They saw Erica, how every year her percentages, her points, everything went up. So and then obviously, like, I became cool with a lot of WNBA players, so they just saw that, and then on top of me just being genuine and cool, they just gravitated to her, and then I started training them also. So
the training. So like obviously we have someone like Andrew here, or even Shaw that coaches college and high school and stuff. For someone like you, did you find more fulfillment in training than in actual coaching? Because you coached, and then you coached at Ferguson for a while, and you coached at South Miami, right? Yeah. You found more fulfilling in one than the other, and that's why you gravitated towards that?
I kind of left coaching because I really didn't want to become a college coach or anything. I just did it because I love helping people out.
Right.
And then training, I'm still helping you, but I don't have that commitment to go to practice every single day, deal with the coaching drama in here. Like, if you coach at one school, all of these people don't like you because you know, Coach Doc wasn't liked by a lot of people. They could say whatever, but a lot of people don't like him. So, because he wins a lot. And then, you know, just being there as a coach, people didn't like me just because I was coaching at South Miami. It's just like, just get to know me. Like,
Yeah.
So, that, and then, you know, they don't pay nothing.
Right.
You get $1,300 as an assistant coach.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I can make that.
In like 4 months.
No, that's the whole year. Because you think about, if you had a good program, you're practicing all
Oh,
summer.
yeah. But I'm saying when you get that check, it's literally for the months of the season. That's when they give it to you. So it's like
you're making like $1, not even
$1. And in a program like South Miami, it's year round. You're going to team camps, practice every day.
Team camp, summer, spring league, all of that. So it's you're never stopping. You might get a week or two, but like me, my biggest thing is like why I really started coaching and training was like I wanted to help. Like I wanted to help. Like even now I was like with my girlfriend in Czech in Europe for like 4 or 5 months, and you know I was happy, I was good, but it was just something in me. It was just like I wasn't able to help. I wasn't able to touch people. I wasn't able to inspire people, motivate people, and it was just that little thing in me, like to fulfill me, and that's what it was. Like I wasn't training people, I wasn't helping people in their daily life. I wasn't motivating people. I wasn't grinding with my brand, shipping stuff out, doing everything. Yeah. So like that's a journey for me that I love. Like I embrace that. I don't want people to do stuff for me. I like to do it my own, and then I love to help and motivate people. So that was like something in me that I didn't know what it was at first, but then when I got back here, I was like, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then you just started training, like setting up like academies and stuff. Everything was going out of South Miami, right? Like you were training there first.
Yeah. When I was at Ferguson, I was just training the players really. Right. And I didn't really take it like serious. Like I want to reach out to different kids and be able to bring different kids. It was mainly just the players there. Yeah. And then maybe a kid that I knew from my neighborhood or something. But South Miami is when I started training my kids, and then other kids from different schools started coming. Yeah. And then I ended up doing a camp, my first camp by myself at South Miami, and it was really good.
Yeah. And as far as like the training goes, like obviously there's so many trainers coming up now. Everybody's a trainer now, right? Like it's everybody puts that title. I'm training this, I'm training that, such and such park, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. Everybody's trying to get their grind in their business, right? What for someone that is taking it serious on a daily grind, that really wants to pursue it and not just say, oh, I'm just training to make the money, right? Guys that really want to take it to a professional level, such as yourself, such as Andrew, such as Ronnie, such as Stan Remy. Yeah. Those guys have really taken it to a professional level where they did their grind, they got to a certain point, and now they're like, these are professional people, right? To get with them, you have to like hit them up, DM them. It's like a whole process. It's not 1, 2, 3. But for those guys that want to get to that point, that want to work with the stature of players that you're working with and these guys are working with, what advice do you give to them to really keep grinding and keep focused? Because this is not an easy business to get into, right? At some point, it's all networking too. So you have to network. But
definitely.
What's your best advice there?
Just like anything, you're gonna have to really grind. Like just how you said, Andrew, it took him 4 or 5 years. That's with anything in life. Like your first 3 years are gonna be the hardest years of whatever you're trying to do, because you're starting something new. You're building something everybody don't know. Once you get to that 4th year, like everything's rolling. Everything's already coming in. You don't have to, you still got to put that grind in no matter what, but it's like you don't have to do all the extra stuff that you had to do your first couple of years, because your first couple of years you're reaching out, you're doing all of this, you're marketing, you're trying to get as many people as you can. By your 3rd, 4th year, they know your name, they know what you do, they know who you produce, who you helped, who you developed. So it's kind of like, everybody just knows. It's like a snowball effect. But I would just say just grind super hard, really know what you're doing, and just be around basketball a lot, because I go to games all the time. And even though like being a coach is a great help with training, because you understand like what a coach is thinking also.
Right,
just
exactly.
As a trainer, you like, oh, your coach sucks because he didn't do this. Like, but you got to also think about what the coach is thinking. What has that player done? Yeah. It's a lot of different things that go into it. So coaching definitely helps your training. And how you could develop this kid in his program or whatever they're trying to do for him. So it takes a lot. Like going to a lot of games, going to just be a gym rat, be a basketball, like just be around it a lot. Grind, really know what you're talking about, and don't be afraid to like network or hit a coach up. Yo, let me go watch a practice, just so you could see like how because some trainers might have never coached. So
right.
You want to understand both sides. You want to understand every side really in basketball. So if you're trying to get to that level, some people just do it for fun or just for some money on the side hustle. But if you're trying to take it real serious, you gotta know film. You gotta know names. You gotta know all type of things about the game that you can't just do with just coming out here every day and just going to a park. Like you gotta really learn, ask people stuff. Don't be afraid. Like be yourself, and that's the main thing. And just a lot of people, I feel, they just do it just to be around certain people sometimes, and it's just like you just gotta be yourself and just do it for the love of the game and to help people. And that if you do that, your blessings will come. But if you chase, clout or just trying to do it for the money, your love for it will run out easily. Because
you're always chasing the dollar.
Yeah. I like in the beginning, it was a lot of times that I knew my value was more, but I was just helping, and I wanted to do it because I saw how I was helping kids out, how I was changing their lives. So that fulfillment was more than any type of money that I could have got. And I talk about that with my best friend Erica. Like we have 150 girls at our camp every year, and after that day, me and her just sit there and talk, like almost come to tears. Sometimes we cry like the days after, like, and that's the best feeling that I could. We talk about it. We're like, yo, somebody could give me $1 million, I wouldn't feel as good as I feel right now, because I just felt like I touched a lot of kids, a lot of parents. People come up to us after the camp and just share everything, how they feel. They pour out their emotions to us. Some kids cry, like, so it's those type of feelings is what I like.
Yeah.
To like know that I motivated a kid or changed their life in some type of way.
Right. Now we've had a lot of guests here that obviously have worked on the boys side, the men's side.
Yeah.
You obviously predominantly work a lot with the girls, or more so than most of the guys down here, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I just work more with more like the WNBA. I don't really. I work with a lot of pros though on the men's side, and a lot of college kids, a lot of high school, but yeah, more girls than boys. But I still work.
Of course,
both sides, yeah.
And how? Like, do you get more enjoyment working with one more or the other? Or is one more discipline? Like Shaw talked about
definitely
this.
Discipline.
So Shaw talked about, like, if you tell, like, he's like the difference between coaching girls. He coached girls, so he was talking about like the difference between coaching girls and boys. He's like, if I tell a girl, hey, you need to take 300 shots, right, to get that right every day, take 300 shots. He's like, she'll take the 300 shots. Because if I tell a boy that, by the time he gets to 20, if he saw some improvement, he'll be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because he's like saying girls are more like disciplined. They're more hard work. Like they're more in tune to staying until, like, if you tell them 300, they do 300. Guys are more like, I see some result, I'll come back tomorrow. I'm good with that. You feel that?
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. They listen more because it's like, guys, you're more athletic. Guys are naturally like set up better. So it's like you can, like you said, you make 20 shots and you feel like you're good.
Yeah.
Like a girl, they listen more because I really don't know why they listen more, but it's just the discipline there for them is definitely way more than the men's side.
Yeah.
Because men's, they just feel like, I'm good. I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And the girls, they really want to improve, and they really do listen more. Coaching, girls and boys, even coaching is way different. You obviously have some people that don't listen.
Yeah, of course.
Majority, the girls definitely listen way more. And I just feel like because they learn more also, because they're not naturally gifted with all of these things. So you have to play under the rim. And to play under the rim, you have to have footwork. You have to have moves. You have to have your shot. You have to have different things. So, a dude could be a high flyer and he could be averaging 20. Not make one shot.
And not make one shot. Yeah, that's true.
So girls, you really got to be talented to be efficient.
And the reason why I was saying that earlier was because, again, about the your focus with women and the girls is because that's something that always goes in, and that's in any sport, you know, like even WNBA to the NBA or college basketball to men's. It's always something that goes under the radar, right? And you're doing something that's shedding a lot of light for the girls here in South Florida, which we haven't had in a while. And obviously we're producing some girls that from here that are doing some big things. So that in itself, I say, do you find, like, that's what I'm saying, are you finding more fulfillment saying I'm taking a route, or I'm working with a lot more people that are going under the scope, because not a lot of people shed light on that. There's always, when a boys events goes down, oh my God, the whole world goes crazy here, right? But when a girl's thing is like, maybe I'll catch it, maybe I won't, right? But then when you start to see, like, you go on the Instagram, you start seeing these girls that are coming out of here going to college, you start saying, man, we got some girls here that can hoop, and we need to be paying more attention to this field.
There's 4 WNBA players from South Florida. You got Kiki, Sylvia Fowles.
Sylvia, big time. She was like undefeated in high school, man. It was almost impossible to stop her.
Beatrice and Kiki.
Yep.
Kiki, Erica, Sylvia, Beatrice. It's 4 players. And before it was just Sylvia by herself.
Yeah.
And now in the past 6 years, you know, Erica came in, and then Kiki and Beatrice the last couple years.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of kids. I mean, I feel South Florida in general. When Wade came, more people started playing basketball instead of football. But then when LeBron and them came, it was just it was more of a wave that I feel like kids started playing basketball more down here, and just you started seeing more things for both sides, like girls and boys. But yeah, I do. I don't like taking the popular route or what everybody wants to do all the time. Like nobody, when I first started training, like, you know, like Erica and stuff, like nobody, even now it's still hard. A lot of people don't pay attention to the WNBA. So when I was training her and I was going to Indiana, training her there, going to games, becoming cool with like the other players and just other people in the WNBA, I just started seeing how like nobody pays attention. Yeah. Like you're the top 144 in the world, like in the world. Yeah. And you're just getting minimal
exposure.
Attention.
Yeah.
Now it's getting way better.
It's getting better. Yeah.
It's way better than 5 years ago like 6 years ago when I really told myself like, this is what I want to tap into, because I want to shed light, even if it's not the WNBA, even if it's a high school girl, middle school, college. Yeah. I want to shed light. I want them to feel that they're important, because there's a stat, I forgot, I think it's like 75% of girls, by the time they reach 14, don't quote, but I'm going to look it up. But it's like a high number. They quit because they feel like they're not good enough. They're not important. Nobody pays attention to them. And I feel that, because even in the WNBA, like 5-6 years ago, even now, to a certain extent, it's not paid attention to how they're not treated how they should be. So yeah, I try to do open runs. I'm doing one actually tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday, I got 11 WNBA players flying in. Like, that's never happened. I don't think 11 players at an open gym at one time. So I just try to do things like that, create a space where they could be comfortable, have fun. You know, I'm gonna have music playing. They could just play, and just create a space for them that they're good. Like,
create a new lane.
Yeah. So
expand it. Yeah. That's important. That's like what we talk about here. Like we all know Knight Riders. We all know now they're the Rebels, and then like those are two prominent EYBL programs in Florida, right? But we have the Suns here. Yeah. Which is another prominent program, and people like look over that. There's like, we are about the Knight Riders, but we have girls here. We have people don't sometimes realize how special it is to have an EYBL program in your city. Like that's vital, because not every city can say that.
Yeah, definitely not. There's not too many EYBL, and a lot of them are in the same city or state. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's definitely. So when I started the open runs, this will be my 8th one. The first one, it was with college, a lot of the top FIU players, and then the top high school players. When I coached at Ferguson, we had the #1 team. Mm-hmm. So the next year when I was at South Miami, that's when I did them. So they were all still young. So they were seniors then. So they would come, players, FIU, and I'll have like videographers come through and just post it, just show the world, or whoever's following me or whoever's following them. Just shed some light on them, make them feel good, and just, like I said, create a space for them that they would never have. Like, people don't pay attention. It's always men's. And people don't hardly think about that side. So I just wanted to bring more attention to it, shed some light on them, make them feel important, and just bring a positive vibe to them.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, I hate to sound like a broken record for everybody out there that's watching and listening, or that will be watching this, is it's like his story is just like everybody else's. If you want something bad enough, or if you want to be in something, you want to do something, take it serious and be a professional at it, it takes some time. You got to go through some struggles. Just like everybody else has been on this podcast that is up at a certain point of their career, they've all been through the ringer, right? They've all struggled. They, like you said, it takes 3 years at least before he started getting into this thing real deep and making the networking and contacts that he was making. So it takes a lot of grind. So if you're out there and you want to take this serious, another story that is very similar and sounds the same, which is you got to work, you got to be able to go through some struggle. But if you like,
a lot of struggle.
I think the main key is if you really love something, you're gonna go through that.
And that's what I was saying earlier. If you do it for the dollar, it's gonna run out.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna run out of the feeling to do it.
Exactly.
You're trying to do it for the money. So
exactly.
If you just be like, I always feel, if you're genuine about something, if you really love it, if you grind for it, it's gonna come.
Right.
A blessing, like blessings will come as long as you know you're a good person, you have good character, and you do right, and you just grind for it. There's somebody every day that's quitting. There's somebody every day that, like, let's say in basketball, there's somebody, I used to tell my kids this, is like, just continue to grind no matter what, because every day somebody's quitting. Like when you feel like quitting, somebody already, like hundreds of kids already quit it.
Yeah.
Somebody might get injured that's better than you. Like just anything.
Yeah.
A family member passed and they had to take this, so now they can't play basketball. Like a lot of things happen in life that it just happens, and if you continue to grind, it's gonna be people that quit. So now you're elevated even more. So as long as you grind and just really work for it, not fake work for it, because that's what a lot of high school kids are doing.
Yeah. Everything for the video, for the 1 minute clip.
I used to tell, I did a AAU team for 1 year, because the kids I had from 9th grade at South Miami, I had them for basically 4 years. So their senior year, I just wanted to put something together so I could help them get to college. And we did really good. We went to the Adidas DSBG tournament, and we went to the Final 8. We almost beat Team Night.
Is this for girls?
Nah, boys.
Oh, boys, okay.
Yeah, we played against Devin Carter, and we were up 10.5, but I only had 5 kids that could go at that level.
Yeah.
So they got tired. They started pressing second half, and then we ended up losing by I think like 7. But we went into the Final 8. We beat three gold teams.
Yeah.
So I used to tell them, like when we were talking about faking and you want to do the videos and stuff, I used to tell them, you got 4 years to fake it.
Yeah.
Now you come out of high school, you can't fake no more, because where you going?
Yeah.
Where you going? So all of the putting the videos up and, oh yeah, I'm working out, putting a little Instagram, like you got to really do it. Like I used to work out like 2-3 times like in a day sometimes. You know, you might go, well, I'm saying outside of the season.
Exactly, yeah.
Go hoop on the park, go do some weights. Then after, go do some, by yourself. Before, it wasn't so many trainers like this. So I used to go with my
Yeah, now everybody got a trainer.
Yeah. So,
everybody training with somebody.
Yeah, back then.
And I see the positives and negatives in that.
Yeah.
But like you said, like when you do it on your own, it gives you more.
Yeah, and I used to go with my homeboy, his name Mike. We used to go to Gerald Lee in South Miami, or on the park at South Miami, or with Boss. He coaches at South Ridge Cool Dog now too. Yeah. And we used to just hoop. Well, it would be me and Boss used to play 2-on-2 versus people in the hood, and then sometimes me and Mike too, or we'll go to Gerald Lee and just play 1-on-1, like hard 1-on-1s.
Yeah.
And that's how you get better. But now if a kid doesn't have a gym, or the gym or the court isn't 10 minutes away, they don't want to go. Like,
Oh, it's 100% true.
I have people hit me like, oh, the gym is 25 minutes away, we can't make it. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm driving 35 minutes sometimes to go train people. So
we used to take the bus and the subway. So I mean, Metro Rail. So
yeah, so it's like, it's like social media is a great thing, but it
like
also
has its positives and negatives, like anything else. That's why I said, like, I see the positive and negatives to everybody having a trainer and wanting to get one. I think it's important for a player to get with a kid, and for a trainer to lock in on what he really needs to focus, pay attention to details, footwork, just driving, like body stance, posture, all that stuff. And I think it's important, like, because if you're training by yourself, you really can't. You have no one there to critique that.
Yeah,
and when you're training with someone,
you think you're doing the right thing, but you're doing it wrong.
And then when you have someone that's there training you and watching you and pushing you, that's a great thing, right? So I think that's a positive. But what I also think is like what the negative between that is like it causes you to think like, well, if he can't train me today, I'm just not going to train.
Yeah.
And that's where I think like the love gets separated, because I think like at least when I was growing up, kids were that love basketball. Man, we were in the park all day. LA Fitness all day, wherever we could be at to play ball all day, we were at.
Yeah, now kids
will get their hour in.
Yeah, 1 hour and they feel like that's it.
Yeah, like they just put in a lot.
And they just want to go FaceTime, get on the games, be on their phones all day. And it's just like, if you really want this, you can't. So you got to sacrifice certain things. Like I tell one of my young kids now that I still help him to this day. He's in college, and I'm just like, sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Like your girl, you're gonna have to face family time. Like if you really want this, because at the end of the day, all of that is still gonna be there when you succeed or when you fail. Like,
and if it's not, it's because they didn't have your back all the way
like,
through, right? Whether that's your friends or girlfriend, whoever it may be.
Yeah, all the going out, all the FaceTime, and all of that is gonna be there if you when you succeed. But if you're trying to reach something, you gotta really grind. You gotta sacrifice not being able to chill with your friends for 5 hours. You're gonna have to sacrifice maybe not being able to be with your girl or whoever it is that you're with at the time. And like for a girl, it might be their boyfriend. Like you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of stuff in order to succeed in life. It's a big, like, you gotta sacrifice so much to be successful in life and to actually really put the work in. Like for you to really put the work in, you gotta sacrifice certain things, because there's no way you're gonna be able to put your energy everywhere and then into your dreams. Like it's impossible.
So let's start talking about your DSBG brand, right? Which I didn't say at the beginning, and it's my fault. Right. Don't settle, be great. I said DSBG, but I didn't say what the acronym standing for. And I think what I think is the perfect segue to say to that is what's important is that don't settle, be great stands for exactly what you were just saying about your journey. Like you're helping people, you're inspiring them, while training them, saying keep working. It's good to have someone there to push you and say keep working. A lot of people see these videos with these WNBA players. These players, like, they show you what they want to show you, right? They'll show you making 10 shots.
Yeah.
But before that, they probably missed 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And that's why you're there to say, yo, hey, posture, form, whatever, keep your head up, keep grinding. Because that shit gets frustrating, man. I know I missed like 2 or 3 shots in a row, like in a workout, and I'm already like pissed, because like my mechanics is right. I feel like everything is good.
Yeah, and I don't care. I tell them, all the way to the pros, WNBA, whatever, all the way to the kids, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is, and they respect that because they know I'm being honest with them.
Yeah,
like, I'm just not just out here just telling you whatever. So I'm always honest. I'll tell it how it is. Like me and my best friend argue all the especially in the beginning when I was trying to fix a lot of stuff, like let's say certain footwork or stuff, and because before she was like just super fast, like she could shoot, but certain footwork she ain't have down pack. Now everything is kind of like come together already.
Yeah.
But we used to be in the gym sometimes like arguing, and I'm like, yo, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push you, like, and
don't settle, be great.
Yeah. But she always respected it, but it was just, not being able to do what I'm teaching. It gets frustrating, but I'm gonna push you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, and later on you're gonna see why, like when it relates to the game. So and especially with the young kids, I really preach to them because I've seen people succeed. Like I've seen people fail, and I know why. Like I've been to high school. I know why people didn't make it to college. I've been to college. I know why people didn't make it out of college or didn't go back after a year or didn't further anything. And then I see people make it to the pros and why after a couple years they're out the league.
Yeah.
So, and especially the girls, they really listen.
Yeah.
And then the kids that have been around me, boys, they listen too, because they know I'm not just saying, like, I've been around this. So
how did the concept of the brand come around? You just one day decided, hey, I want to do this brand. It
was actually, I was working out before going to college in the summer, and it was this song that came out. It was like from a Miami artist, I think Iceberg. It's called Be Great.
Okay.
So I started, when we were working out, I used to be like, be great, be great, be great. But then me, like I said, I like to have my own stuff. So I was like, I need to put something with Be Great. And I was with my friend at the time in the car, and I was just saying different things like blah blah blah, be great, blah blah blah, be great. And then once I said don't settle, be great, it was like,
bing, it caught on, yeah,
bing bong. And I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Then started putting on Instagram, Twitter, and people like started loving it. And then
they gravitated.
Hashtagging DSBG. So back then hashtagging was really big. So people would put like a motivational quote and then put DSBG, or perfect day to grind DSB. So it kind of took off, and then I came out with I'm gonna get you some of these.
With the wristband?
Yeah. I came out with the wristbands, but see, this is a regular size, so it could fit me. I don't have like a big wrist. But the first ones I came out with, it was for people with big wrists.
Yeah.
But even people with small wrists, they were like, I would sell out quick. And people would be wearing their wristband down to here. And I'm just like, damn, like this shit.
So it's a movement, it's a thing.
Yeah, I was like, it definitely took off quick. So then I came out with black and white first, and then I came out with white and black.
Right.
And everybody bought it. I'm like, what do I do now? So because I swear I never thought I want to make this a clothing brand. I just wanted something to motivate people, inspire people. And the wristband, I was thinking, what can I do that a person could see it daily? So I'm like, a wristband is the perfect thing. You can wear this every day. A shirt you can't wear every day. You might wear it 3-4 times. Or maybe more, but that's throughout years.
Yeah.
This, I have it on every single day since I created the brand. I have one of these on. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do wristbands. Then I said, black and white, white and black. And then they bought that, and they're like, yo, we need colors. So
some colors.
I was like, I did colors, but it's still big, and people are still buying it.
Is this because where you were ordering them from?
No, because I didn't know.
Right.
I never had nobody. All right, look, this is the good fabric to buy. This is where everything was trial and error. Everything was.
So you were ordering them from out of the country?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no, but that was the size. But I didn't know you could get another size. I didn't know there was 2 sizes. But then one day I'm on there and I see 2 sizes. I'm like, oh, let me order some of that. And these are these. They will fit people with regular wrists.
The average person.
Yeah. So I got red. I got every color. Then I'm like, all right, that's it. Like, I'm not trying to have a clothing brand, come up with hats, sweatpants. I'm not trying to, I never thought of that. And then somebody from my neighborhood was like, yo, man, I got every color. I need a shirt. Like, I need to wear it. I want to be able to wear this out. So I came out with a first design. Like, I never designed clothes. I never anything. First design, I had 200 pre-orders for the black and white and the white and black. And I did it, sold them all, and I'm just like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah. That's how it starts.
This is my first shirt. 200 pre-orders. Boom. But like I said, it's always adversity. There's always struggles in it. So when I went to do different colors, the dude messed up the side of the shirts, and I basically took an L because the shirts didn't look good. So I was just basically, if a person wanted to buy it, whatever you want for it, or I'll just give them out. So I made, like with them 200 pre-orders, I made good, and then good profit. Then when I went to re-up, and I came out with a lot because I saw 200 people pre-order my first shirt, then I took an L.
Same supplier.
Yeah, so after that I left. I went to somebody else. But it was back then I didn't have like a warehouse and stuff like that. It was basically, get the shirt, take it to somebody down here, and then have them do it. So I left them immediately. Yeah. Because I lost everything I gained from them 200 pre-orders. And then I went to somebody else, and they did it perfect. And I've been with them ever since. But yeah, I could have easily gave up right there. Like, damn, I just made all of this. Now I just lost it all. And then I don't know what to do with all these 200 shirts.
Yeah.
I think
were they that bad? They were that bad?
I mean, all right, so like, I can't show it, but the front, it was good. Like, the front and back were good. Right. But when he got to the side, it was like a fade. Like, it was stars on one side and 2 stripes on this side. And it was just faded, like super faded.
So like if it was washed a bunch of times or something.
Yeah, but everything here was perfect. But he couldn't do the size good when it came to colors. I don't know why. But it happened for a reason. I got it with somebody else, and everything has been up since then.
And now that you have hats, pants, shirts, wristbands, pretty much a whole wardrobe.
Yeah.
What do you want out of the brand? Like, is it, like the message that you're trying to send behind it? Those that'll be great, yeah.
Yeah, basically that. That's why I feel, with time, because, okay, so the first year I came out with it, took off crazy. So within the first year, I'm getting pro athletes wearing it. I'm getting celebrities, all of that.
Right.
So in my head, I'm like, yo, before I even get to a year, I'm about to be one of the biggest in the world. Like,
yeah,
that's how I think, regardless of anything.
Yeah.
Whatever I do, I want to be the best at it.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
It's not nothing cocky. It's just how I think, and that's how I feel like everybody should think. You want to be the best at whatever you do. You can't walk into somewhere, like, you can't walk into your podcast. This is what you're doing, and let's say I do a podcast too, and just feel like, oh, he's better than me. Like,
you can't, yeah.
Nah, man, you gotta be like it's not nothing cocky, but in your head, you don't have to say it like, yo, I'm better than you, you suck. Like, but you just, in your head, you gotta move with that confidence and that positive thinking. Just like when you think positive in life, it makes you better. So,
we talked about that here with Andrew, with the whole Tyler Hero thing in the beginning of the season when he said that he felt like he should be in the same conversation with Luka and them.
Yeah.
Andrew was talking about that, and then he was like, Andrew basically said, like, he's got to believe that, right? Like, if he doesn't believe that, who is? And who are we to say that he shouldn't feel that way, right? He's putting in work every day. He's doing 2-a-days. He's grinding. So who are we to say how he should feel about his game? And then it's up to him now to prove whether he can be a Luka or something like that. But we can't just say, oh, is he crazy? Because he started talking about how people were texting him. And he was just like, he's supposed to believe that. That's why he's putting in that work.
Of course. And even you put in all that work, sometimes you still might struggle. And that's the hardest part, when you put in so much work and you still struggle. But that's you gotta still have that mindset even through the adversity. That's what makes people great. Yeah. Is even when you're failing or you're not like up to what you're thinking, is to continue to grind the same exact way and still put in the same hours, same work. And then with time, like I said, as long as you do good by people, you do good. Yeah. You're a good person and you work super hard and you embrace the grind, the blessing will come with time. Like, sometimes you need to be stronger than what you are in that moment. So God gonna put you through certain things to prepare you for them blessings, because he might give you a blessing that you're not ready for. Yeah. And then I didn't put you through nothing for you to receive this. So that's how I'm a big believer in that. But what were we talking about with the brand?
Just the overall message. Like,
So I thought, man, before I get to a year, I'm about to be like, this is about to blow crazy. Yeah. So, but
about to buy my mama a house.
Yeah, like, I'm thinking everything. I'm like, yo, 200 pre-orders free. Then these are going crazy. I'm like, pro athletes, but I didn't know too much about it. I don't have somebody that's just gonna give me, yo, here's
the backing.
Here's 20,000. Go do this. No, everything. Like, when I came back from college, I swear on everything. When I first bought my first wristbands, I had when I bought all of them, I had $17 to my name. Like, that's how DSBG started off after I bought everything, $17 to my name.
Yeah.
And that's that belief I had. Like, I'm some way, somehow, I'm gonna grind this out.
Hey, Phil Knight bought the Nike logo for $30.
Yeah.
And now it's $1 billion logo.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is sometimes.
Yeah. So I was like, I believe in what I just came up with.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put, if it's my last, I'm gonna put it, and I'm gonna grind for it, and I'm gonna make it happen. So after that, you come through struggles. I never designed multiple shirts. I never had sweatpants. At the moment, it was just like shirts.
Yeah.
And wristbands. So then I started doing socks, sweatpants, joggers.
See, I didn't even know socks. I knew the pant. I didn't know socks.
Hoodies, beanies, and then it started going to hats, puffer jackets, windbreak, like everything.
Now, this stuff, do you release by seasons? Like, you say,
you got to go by seasons, because that's a lot of, like, for clothing, a lot of clothing brands.
Because I feel like sportswear is always neutral. Like, people wear it like whenever, right? Yeah. So, like, I feel like you release some hoodies in December, in July, people still gonna rock them because it's sportswear.
The joggers people wear all year round, but it's best to go with seasons, because that's when you'll get the most hits. Like, you don't want to come out with a jogger set in the summer.
In the summertime,
some people might buy it, but you're gonna be stuck with 500.
All them EYBL kids be wearing them EYBL hoodies in the middle of July.
Yeah,
but they be like, I'm in my Nike, but they sweating.
Yeah, so I mean, you gonna have 500 pieces. Well, I mean, if you're just starting out and you do like a pre-order, then you could do it like that. But I don't order like 10, 20, 50 pieces. Like, I get a lot at a time, so it's just, I'm not about to risk coming out with something for the winter and the summer. And when you go by seasons, it's better. More people vouch for it. Like right now, I'm about to come out with a lot of shorts, vintage tees, a lot of stuff like that. And that, you wear that to the beach. You could wear that out. You could wear that to the brunch, anything. It's a summer vibe, a spring vibe.
So are you still the sole designer of what comes out, or you have someone helping you out now with that?
Bro.
You're just like sitting down learning how to put things together?
Well, I mean, I have graphic designers, but one of my graphic designers, she's a goat. She's young, and one day, I just put, what was this? I need DSBG like this.
Yeah.
And she just sent it to me like through DM. Well, she followed me because of basketball, but she's a graphic designer in high school in Texas, and she just sent it to me like right away. I'm like, yo, how did you just do this like without? And it was perfect. I didn't have to change nothing.
Yeah.
So ever since then, we've been locked in. Like anything she needs, like she used DSBG as an intern for her, like going to college. She's a D1 athlete too. But she
got a bright future ahead of her.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, she's definitely a great. I use one of her designs for shirts and shorts, but everything else is I know exactly what I want, and then I give it to a graphic designer, but every single to the dot, how the triangle, how the star goes, everything. I know exactly how I want it, or else I don't bring it to the graphic designer because I'm not about to waste your time sitting here for hours and I don't know what I want. Oh no, I didn't want that like that. No, I know every single thing. I map it out. Sometimes I'm up until 2 a.m. just
designing.
Yeah, like thinking of things, putting stuff together. Like,
are you following like fashion, like sportswear fashion trends, like seeing like what they doing?
Yeah, I mean, I have you could wear this sports. You could wear it out. You could just chill. Like every angle that you want to go, I could have something for you. You could wear this to the club. You could wear this to a game. You could wear this to go train. You could do whatever you want with our brand. So it's all around.
The stuff that like obviously we've seen NBA players on the sideline, Victor Oladipo constantly wearing the DSBG brand. Shout out to Victor of Miami Heat.
Yo, when he wore that, it was my phone was like ding 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 ding. I got an order from Taiwan. I was like, well, I've gotten orders from all over the world, but I never got nothing from Taiwan. I was like, yo, what?
That's crazy.
And I asked them like, yo, how did you even buy this? Because when you buy, you gotta put either your name or your email. I mean, your number or email. And they was like, I was watching the Raptors Heat game. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And then the search engine, everybody was Googling. Cause I get all of that. I get like the statistics of everything. Everybody was Googling like DSBG shirt or DSBG clothing or DSBG greatness because that's what it said under.
Shit, I Googled it because I already knew what DSBG was, right? Yeah. But I wasn't sure if what he was wearing was yours.
Yeah.
So like I Googled it real quick just to see like, yo, is this the same brand? And then I was like, oh snap, that's crazy because he wears it a lot on the sideline.
Yeah, he wore it in New York too, the sweatsuit. And then now when I'm about to go crazy with the shorts and shirts, he's gone.
So are you now like thinking now too, like, hey, maybe I should make like one of one custom stuff for some of these guys, or like a 12 pack for some of these guys, like just for them, like this is exclusively for them, showing love or something like that, something that makes it more original.
Yeah, what's crazy is a lot of them don't even want stuff for free. There's certain people that want stuff for free, but like Vic, he never asked it for free. His best friend actually bought him that shirt. Another one, John Wall, bought every single sweatsuit. I came out with 14 sweatsuits. He bought all of them. He didn't ask it for free. Boozer, I'm real close with Booze. I try to like, all right, you bought 5, or I'll give you 1 or 2. Like, no, you don't want it for free. So, it makes it more like I appreciate them even more for that.
Yeah.
Because it's easily hundreds of brands trying to get them, yo, get this shirt. I'm gonna send it to you for free, and then for them to choose, like, nah, I don't want it for free. I'm gonna give you what you
they want to support.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Vic definitely been supporting heavy. Real cool with his best friend, and going over there, we created love.
Yeah.
Relationship. Second time I was there, he was like, yo, you come whenever you want. So he's down to earth.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
We had Stefan, who's like his rehab trainer and stuff like that, and he talks amazing about him.
Yeah.
And not just like as a basketball player, as a human being.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Cause I know he could hoop, but
Yeah.
I didn't. That's when I was going, like, when I went like 2 or 3 times to his crib, he wasn't hooping. So it wasn't no like, oh, I just watched you play. Like we went to a game, he didn't play. We went over there after chill, watching the game, and good dude, down to earth, and didn't really care that I'm an all-star type talent. He just down to earth dude.
And shout out to the people that support, man, that just buy the stuff. They don't ask it for free. People see that there's money that goes into that and things that go, time and effort gets put into it. And so shout out to the people that want to support and show love. I've always, somebody, when I was a while back, someone told me something like, a real friend will always support. He won't ask you for free. He'll just support because he knows what you've gone through to make that happen. Yeah. And getting it for free is kind of like a slap to the face. It's like, man, I worked hard. I work for this. I got to put money and do this stuff. So that's important.
And they see more than anybody how hard you work for it. And
exactly.
And sometimes they still don't.
Still don't support. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like I get more, but I feel like that's for everybody.
You ever seen RDC World? You've seen them on the group. They're like they're really funny. They be on YouTube a lot, Instagram. They're real popular. They make all those skits. So they have like a skit where, so they're like how your friends be when you start up a business when a stranger starts up a business.
Or like a celebrity. They post all the celebrity stuff, what they're doing, but they can't repost it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, but it's only $5. And he's like, nah, I don't got $5. But it's only this. And then they go to the next thing and he's like, hey, sir, and they buy everything. But he was like, you're home. It was a super funny skit. But it's crazy how true that can be.
Go and spend
all this money anywhere else. But
$2,000 in Gucci, like everything, but they won't.
$25 t-shirt, they won't.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
and knowing who you are and knowing like the impact that every order has on that person. Like,
exactly. How that can help change their lives.
And it's like something motivating. Oh, all right, now that I got it. What I was talking about when I was going from year to year. So going back to that, because I was thinking about it, but I'm like, yo, what was I supposed to say? So like after year 1, 2, I get to like year 3. Now, my second and third year, that's when I started coaching. So it kind of like, it was going crazy. And then it came to like a standstill for a second. It was still, I was still selling out, but not, like I wasn't getting everything on time. I was coming out with hoodies and stuff in January. It's like, that's supposed to be out October.
Yeah.
So, but it was all, I didn't have time. I was putting my energy here, training, coaching. I'm at South Miami from 1:30 to 8 because I'm doing weights with them. Coaching JV and then staying for varsity too. So it was just like I didn't have so much. And then you get out, everything closed, and then to go before, like it's just you're so tired.
Yeah,
training, putting everything. So after going into like the after I stopped coaching, I started putting a lot of energy back into it. And then I had because you were talking about Nike, I had a brand, one of the top 3 brands in America. They wanted to buy it for $300,000, DSBG, but and at the time, it wasn't going crazy high. Like the first year, I'm like, oh no, I ain't. But it was like it was just doing what it could do because I'm not fully into it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, like 300,000 4 years ago. Like
I've been like, signed the check.
Yeah, I met with him and everything, and I was like, nah, I can't do it. And that's part of a thing. Like it's not all about the dollar. Like I can make that like with time. Like wow, that's what I'm thinking back then. Well, it actually happened.
You can make more or the same.
Yeah, that's what has happened with the time. But I was like, nah, I can't do it. Now if you would have gave me $5 million or something, then that would have been yours.
You've been like, here you go. Don't settle, be great. There you go.
With some royalties, but even then we were still gonna work out some. I forgot what you call it. Where I would be able to, I forgot what you call it, but it's basically like
a collab.
Yeah, but it was like I forgot what the word was, but it's basically like you're leasing them. They'll pay you to put like their logo, and then Don't Settle Be Great. So it wouldn't have my circle logo. I forgot what it was called, but we were talking about it. But then that's around time COVID hit, so
it stalled. The talk stalled.
Yeah, and then after that, it was just my grandfather died July 25th, not
Damn,
last
sorry
year,
to hear that.
the year before. And then when I was still a little into coaching, but not. And then when I was just there, I was crying crazy, but then I was just, some in me was like, take that leap. So I guess, I felt like it was him talking to me, but it was like, take that leap. So then that's when I stopped coaching for good. I was just in the training. And the main thing for me was DSBG, because I want to be able to help the kids. I want to be able to help anybody. Like, DSBG could relate to anybody in the world. Like, whether you're doing a podcast where you're an athlete, a lawyer, a janitor, like, it's Don't Settle, Be Great. If you're trying to do anything positive with your life, it could relate to you, because it's a positive message, and it's not to one category or one type of person or a group of people. It's for everybody in the world, whatever you do in the world. So I just stuck with my thing. I couldn't let it go that easy. But it's definitely been a grind, and it
will pay off. The loyalty and persistence will pay off at some point.
Yeah, and when I was there with my grandfather, like, he was dead in front of me, and when I heard that, I was just like, nah, I'm because DSBG is my baby. So I was like, that's what it is. Like, you've been wanting to do this all this time. You're thinking about it. Like, nah, just do it. So that's when I put all my energy into it, and that's when I got the manufacturer overseas, way more connections. I'm really marketing better. Like, the followers went up. I'm at 10K now. Before there was like at 5. That happened within a year. So it's just like, when you put your, and that, like we were talking about earlier with kids or anything in life, like, when you put your energy towards it, like, and you really work for it and grind for it, it's gonna happen. But if you, like me, I was trying to do so many things at once, so I'm not really fully into one. So that's like what I was telling you earlier. A kid might be wanting to grind, want to chill, want to go to the club, girlfriend, all of this stuff, and it's like, it's impossible to do everything. It's impossible. Even me, it's not. I wasn't getting to. It wasn't a bad distraction. I'm still coaching. I'm still helping kids, but it was just like, what do you really want? What is your purpose? And it was DSBG.
Priorities.
Yeah, so I wasn't putting all my energy into that. I was putting all my energy to something that was giving me $1,300 a year.
Yeah.
So,
which is tough.
Yeah.
So now let's get into these. What the part that everybody loves, that when they see success, they say, oh, look at his Instagram, look at all the people that he worked. Let's get in with, obviously you said Erica's one of your best friends, right?
Yeah,
she is your best friend.
No,
So what is it like working with these WNBA players, and what is some of your and what do you love about that compared to working with the NBA players you've worked with, right? Like, what is how do you go about that?
Like I said, I basically being around, I became cool with certain ones, and then with them wanting to train, and then us training and creating a genuine relationship over time. It just happens, like, naturally. It's not like, I never go into nobody's DM, yo, can I train? I never do that. Like, if they want to train,
that's something Andrew's talked about. Yeah.
They reach out, or they hit E up, like, yo, like, that just happened in Atlanta. Like, Erica just got traded from LA to Atlanta, and one of her teammates was there, because she just had a baby not too long ago. So she's getting back into it fully, and Erica was talking to her, and then she's like, oh yeah, my best friend's gonna be up there, and all right, let's train. So I trained her. So it happens like that. But what did you ask? What was my favorite?
Yeah, like the differences. Like, how much do you enjoy, like, with a lot of these WNBA players that you work, like, even now doing the open run with all these WNBA players?
No, I feel even more like it's more gratifying for me, because it's like, it's like nobody's paying attention to it. Nobody's doing it. So for me, is and then they know that nobody's doing this for them. So it's just, they appreciate it. They tell you, like, man, damn, thanks for that. Like in previous open runs with girls, especially, because I've done both, like, men and women, but like the women's, they're like, nobody's done this. And then even when I posted, like, the WNBA Twitter, and people that follow, they reach out, DM, like, damn, I never seen this before. That's what's up. Keep doing it for the women. And even, it's not just for the WNBA players, because I had a girl during COVID coming to the open runs with like Kiki, Sylvia, and E, and she was hooping, and she got 3 D1 offers off my story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know the whole time. She never told me, and then I think it was the last one, and I was about to go to Indiana, like with E. So that was like my last one. And she was like, yo D, I wanted to tell you something. I'm like, what? She was like, I got a Zoom, because it was Zoom because of COVID. I got a Zoom meeting with this D1. They offered me, and they said it was from the runs. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, chill out.
Yeah.
Like, what? And that day was like that, and that was the last one of that year. And that just made the whole entire year
worth it.
Yeah, I was like, what? I get chills right now, but I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, just off story. And then even the D1 coach reached out to me like, man, thanks for doing this. Like, for letting me find the diamond in the rough. Keep doing this for the women. So, on top of the women being more disciplined and stuff, they're sometimes more appreciative of stuff. Because for the men, like, everybody does it for you. Everybody doesn't do it for the women. Yeah. So, and sometimes when it's for the women, it's not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So they definitely appreciate it. My favorite stories are obviously Erica's. She went at a Rutgers. Her mom passed her last year, her senior year, so it was tough. Then she went undrafted, and then she ended up. She was making more money with her degree than playing overseas. Then when the check she was about to get overseas, she was making $200 a week or something like that. Nothing, but again, it's for the love. It's not for the money. So she went out there. Team was like 2-20 the year before they won the finals. Then her agent at the time was basically saying like, you're not gonna really be nothing big, so you might as well just get a regular job. So she got a new agent. Obviously gave her extra motivation because we think the same. And went to Turkey, killed. Went to Brazil. Went to Brazil, killed. Went to Turkey, killed. Then after that year, she got that call to Atlanta, and she got on the team, made a training camp, made the 12-man roster, and then ended up getting trained at the Liberty. And then after that, she was done because she just signed because somebody got hurt with Liberty. And then the next year again, go overseas, kill. Then Indiana brought her on. She flew May 5th from overseas. It's like a 13-hour flight. Got to Indy, had to do training camp the next day after just playing finals and all of that stuff. Made the team, stuck. You got a 1-year contract next year. Got a 1-year contract, and then the year after, that's when she got the 2-year and felt more secured. And then that's when she got her WNBA All-Star Game MVP, first ever undrafted player to do that. And it's just the growth with every year. And that's why I tell all of these kids, because I seen it firsthand. Like, that's my best friend, my sister. Like, I've seen grinding, sacrificing certain things, like being a good person, being genuine, like it pay off for you. And then also with Betnijah Laney, I train her also. She plays for the New York Liberty. She's not the same story. She got drafted, but she got hurt. Then she got signed to another team, then got hurt. And then it was just, by that time, it was like, all right, we might pick you up as 11th, 12th man person. Then she started playing in Indy with Erica. Even then, just a defensive person. All right, if you get a kick out in the 3, shoot it. But you're gonna be on the best player every game. Don't try to do too much. Then COVID year, a new coach came. They cut her before the bubble, like 2 weeks before the bubble. And I was like, damn, that's tough. Because when E got, when after the Liberty season, it was basically over. So she don't have a team. And we was just in her mom's room, like, she was like, yo, I don't got nothing. I was like crying. I'm just like, yo, everything gonna work out. Like, it's something better coming, like, out of this. And that's what I kind of told Naj also, like, yo, just keep your head up, keep working. Something better gonna come out of it. She ended up going to Atlanta, averaged like 20 points a game, got most improved of the WNBA. Then so she was making minimum at that time. Then last year, signed to New York for the max and was like top 5 in scoring, all-star again. So
persistence, don't settle.
Yeah.
That's first side of the quote. Don't settle.
Yeah, those two stories are like the most inspiring to me of the people that I've worked with.
And now with Erica and as such other WNBA players, as like when Andrew was here, when you work with like with players so consistently, are you setting up like off-season programs? Like you're seeing like, oh, we need to work on this. Are you talking to their coaches to see how you, like Andrew was talking about, it's like a 3-phase process. Like he'll talk to the player, he'll talk to the coach, and then he'll see what he thinks he needs to implement. Yeah. Are you doing stuff like that?
Well, with the WNBA and NBA, it's kind of different because the NBA has like a 4-month off season.
Right.
WNBA, you have nothing unless you stay.
Because most of them are going overseas and stuff, right?
Yeah. So E right now, she's in the finals. It's April 4th. She'll probably be back here the latest April 18th. Training camp is 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So with that is we work a lot on certain things, like on, let's say, something that she wants to implement or something that I see and we're like, oh yeah, that'd be good. We work a lot on that, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 things, but then also work a lot on her strengths because we got to keep that tight.
Yeah.
But then also, add a little bit to the game as much as we can. But I mean, when I was going up there to Indy, I would be at the practices. So I was talking to the head coach, like, she's like, nah, just keep doing what you're doing. I see it. So like the coaches, if anything, they'll tell me something, but it wasn't really like I could kind of, I know what she could be better at. I'm at the game, so I could see everything. So on the WNBA level, it's not so much like that because there's not like in the NBA, I think it's like a coach for every player or two.
Yeah, every player is a coach assigned.
Yeah, so it's not like that. So that player doesn't have a whole script on one person. It's just you might talk to the assistant or the head coach, but
yeah, that's what Andrew was saying. Like, oh, like he'll talk to like Chris Quinn, who works with Tyler Hero a lot.
Yeah, so
and then like they'll trade like ideas, and then Andrew will say, all right, I'll formulate this when we work out.
Yeah, so it's not like that in the WNBA. You might have 3 coaches, assistants, and you're not assigned.
It's not as personalized.
It's just like you're coaching like in college type.
And like you said, good point. Like I didn't think about that until you just said it. Like they don't really have an off season because like season's over, they go overseas and play there to make more money and get more money, and that's a whole. Yeah, I didn't think about that until you just recently said it, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so we used to have like, it was hard, but we, like I said, you got to sacrifice sometimes that rest that you want to work on stuff that you know that can make you better for the season coming up. So, like even when she comes down, she's coming straight to Miami because, well, we're gonna train obviously, but then she's doing a documentary right now, so we had to film something down here. Like it's the last part of the documentary, so it's basically like our relationship and the transition working out going into the WNBA season. So, but it's only like 2-3 weeks, unless now they just started I don't even know what to say. It's like a association. It's called Pro Hoops, and it's a lot of the people that stay down here and don't go overseas. They have it in Vegas. It's like a month and a half long, and WNBA players that stayed in college, or players that feel like they just need to get seen and they could get an opportunity to get into the WNBA because all the WNBA coaches are here. And when you go overseas, some coaches that are really on it pay attention to it, but you could be killing overseas and not being seen that much because you're playing at 2 different times. Like somebody might be playing at 10 in the morning and it's 6 over there or something like that. But if you're playing, like a lot of people got picked up for training camps at that spot, Pro Hoops, because it's called AU Pro Hoops, because coaches got to go see it in person. Like they got to go see the person. It's in Vegas. It's a month and a half long. You got WNBA players that don't go overseas. And I think it's a good thing, like, because they don't have to go overseas. They could still get a check here and obviously some marketing money.
Yeah.
And for some people, they rather make less and be able to stay here, be with it. Like a lot of these players, they don't even get to have birthdays. They don't have to Christmas, like nothing. They don't do that with their families for like the past however long they've been in the league. It's tough for them. So
I know, if they get pregnant, it really messes up the money and all that.
Yeah. I mean, now the WNBA put it in where if they're pregnant, they still get paid.
Okay. So so before they did it? Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I think they did, but it was like partial
Damn,
or something like that. I don't know.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. So now the new CBA is way better. Like
Yeah.
the max used to be 117.
I saw the max went up. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like 250, and then on top of you could get marketing money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could make a lot of money.
Yeah. Wow, that's. I didn't know that if they got pregnant, they didn't get paid. Like if it happened during season and stuff like that, that's pretty wild. But if they do now,
I know for sure right now
it wasn't full.
Yeah, because
back then at least.
Because like the girl that I just trained, Cheyenne Parker, she got pregnant this season, and then also Kiki got pregnant right before the season. So I know, and then just knowing about it, like I know for sure now you get it. I don't know exactly how it was before.
Yeah.
But it had to be like, let's say, partial or a certain amount.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's tough.
Or maybe they did, but now it's more benefits to it.
Yeah. That's tough. And that's super tough, especially for them, because like you want to have your child, but you also know you got to work and how it affects your money and all that. Like,
and it affects your game too.
Yeah, of course. You got to recover that. You got
to like having a kid that slows you down. You don't have that quick step how you had. You can't. I mean, with time, if you continue to grind and work out and tighten up your core and your legs, you could bounce back. But that first year it's
tough.
Yeah. Like some people, even making a certain move, like everything is weak. Like from here on up, like everything is weak. So it's tough for them. But I feel like the women's game is definitely growing, and more people are starting to pay attention to
Absolutely,
it. Yeah, like it's for sure happening. And I'm happy for that. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, no, I'm the only person that's doing this. I want a million people to do open runs. Like
you're just proud to be a part of the growth.
Yeah. Like, I want a million people to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's going to help the game regardless, some way or somehow. Just as long as you're doing it the right way and for the right reasons, it's going to grow the game. Because if you could have 100 open runs instead of one, I mean, you might not have it with WNBA players, but you might have it with college and high school. And these players are getting better. Yeah. It's something that they never had before.
And shout out to Erica for I see she was doing some community work here with the camps that and that's important too. I think we talked about that with Andrew with Team Hardaway. Yeah. Hardaway giving back to the community here, having an AAU team where these kids don't have to pay to go out. And I think that's important for her to come back and, with you and collab and do camps for these girls, these young girls that have someone to look up to from South Florida. And I think that's important. So shout out to her for giving back here and for shining light to the exposure here in South Florida and doing something for the girls' game that hasn't been done. And you collabing and bringing that and being a part of that. I think that's super important. And that's why I think that the girls' game is getting more exposure down here. We're starting to shed more light on it.
No, it's from the first year we did it to now is like a whole 360. And that's something we talked about too. Is like you could feel the change. Like when you come to the camp, you feel the change of the players. Like some players been there, like they were younger. Some players been there, and I give you chills.
Yeah.
Some people been there for like 3 years, 2 years, so they understand. They listen to what we said. We've brought WNBA players, so they listen to them. But they also know Erica's story, and they know like what we preach every time. Like we tell them in the beginning of the camp, if you want to try to be cool, if you want to try to be going through the motion and stuff, you can get out. Like we could give you your money back or whatever the situation is, but you can get out right now. It's no being cool in this camp. Like we're gonna have a bunch of fun, but you're gonna work super hard. You're gonna compete, and you're gonna. I can curse.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna curse.
Yeah,
but you're gonna be in everybody's ass. Like you're gonna grind in this camp. Like it's gonna be a 5 hours of work and all, and that's what it usually is. Like even me and Erica, we're dead tired right after the camp. Like
I can imagine.
Feet up on the.
And what does the camp do exactly? Like it's just drills. How like the girls are getting some exposure? Is there like are you zooming it or?
Nah, I don't. We don't zoom it.
Like live stream. My bad. That's what I'm
gonna say. We do drills.
Does she talk?
Yeah, we do that at the end with her, and then like last year, Betnijah Laney and Natalie Achanwa came. And they, Q&A with them, get to ask them certain things, and they get to share their experience and how they made it.
That's important.
Yeah, just basically, and for me, like, I know when I was a kid, I used to think like, damn, if you're in the NBA, you make every single shot, you're perfect,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff. And then once I got to high school and I started playing with certain certain open gyms or just being around more celebrities and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, these people are just human beings that
Yeah.
just worked super hard, had talent, and worked super hard and grinded for what they got. And there's nothing different. Like an NBA player, you know, I used to think like they make every shot, maybe miss a couple, but they miss shots just like so. For them, for me to start seeing that in the flesh, me to start seeing a NBA person, a celebrity, and seeing there's no real difference, I think that's a big impact and it's a big motivation. So that was the main thing for me was like bringing Erica back home because I this was like 3 years of me telling E like, yo, we gotta do it because I we talked about it in another podcast. Like I could have done it myself and been like, yo, Erica, just come on, it's DSBG camp. But I wanted to put her on the pedestal, like, man, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
you, like this is you, like I don't care to get no light from this. Like this is you. You come back, put it under your foundation. Like it's you. Put you on the pedestal.
I also think it's important because she's a girl, and like it's important for them to see like, man, look at. I mean, her story is crazy. Like
Yeah.
her senior year was nuts, and going through all that after having to go overseas to prove herself to get into the NBA. And I think that it's important for these girls to see like, hey, if I just keep fighting and keep doing it, like no one's gonna, or like even the thing about what you said about the agent, like, oh, you know, don't might as well go work because you're not gonna make it big. Like even that, like someone put you down. And for you to say, F that, I know I can do this if I just do it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like women and girls are constantly being told they can't do something, right? Or like,
Or
this
you
is a
just- or
man's
you just-
world.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it's a
you're not
man's
as-
game.
You can't dunk. You're not as
Yeah,
good as,
exactly.
Like, and it's people that still, but most of the people that say that they don't really know basketball. 'Cause
Oh my God.
if you really knew it,
If
would
you watch a
appreciate
women's
it.
game, like a college game or like a WNBA game, the one thing that you'll notice, I mean, forget all the dunking, forget all that, bro, the fundamentals
Yeah.
and like the skill set. And
Because like I said, you gotta play under the rim.
Yeah.
It's not just athleticism.
Oh,
You really
my
gotta
God.
really have it. So
how they run through the entire set. Like it's like guys like will break it down like,
or just 1-on-1, pick and
yeah.
roll. That's it. Like
yeah.
I mean, WNBA is pick and roll a lot too, but you know, like you run through your stuff. It's certain girls that could really go, that could just break
Yeah.
you down. But it's you gotta really know the game under the
Uh-huh.
basket. So,
Agreed.
but
Footwork. Oh man, it's so many things that go into it that I don't think people pay attention. That they don't really like see it. That if you watch it, you're like, bro, that's
that's
sick.
the thing. Most of the people that say this, they don't really know or really play basketball, or they're just trying to
Downplay it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a hater in general.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
They
down-
don't really. They just hate on everything, and just it's no good vibes from it. But nah, just that the girls' game is definitely growing. Even there's some girls dunking now. So
Yeah.
but that's not really important. It's just really the game is growing. Like you're seeing more girls that could really hoop now, and I feel like that's where, like even now, the top 5 NIL deals in college basketball, 4 of them are girls.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's one dude right now. And it's just like if you invest like the money, it's gonna come back. Like
Yeah.
but it's
And-
just nobody ever wanted to like. It's not the popular thing to do.
No, and like I said, I think that's important, man. The fact that she showed up, she did it, she had her name on it, and obviously you helped put a lot of that together.
Yo, so
That's important, man.
how it happened was, so like I said, I was on it for like 3 years. Like, yo, E, come on, we gotta do this. Like, it almost got to the point where I was like, look, I'm gonna just do this myself, like, and then I'm gonna just invite you to come.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I can't. I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I could have done that 3 years ago, but because at the time I was training a lot of top high school girls here, and then training obviously the WNBA players. So, you know, I was hot like on the girls side, so I could have easily did a camp and had the same amount of kids. But I'm like, nah, I gotta put you on there. Like, you my sister. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna put you up there. So we're on the flight after the season from Indiana, and I'm just like, yo, E, come on, like we gotta do it, cause she knows like we throw each other ideas, but more so me. Like I'm like, yo, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we could do this, we could do that, and then she's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So she has 2 weeks before she goes overseas. That was like a Monday. Camp was on Saturday. We had nothing. So she was like, all right, if you could get everything, insurance, gym, ball. She was like, where we gonna do it? I'm like, yo, I could get a gym, or you could find a gym too. Like your name, like your high school coaches at a high school, and that's the one we got, Pace. And I'm just like, yo, I could do everything else. I know how to. I've been around camps and everything for 10 plus years, so I know insurance. I know how to run a camp. I have my own camp, so I'm like, yo, we could. I'm telling you, just give me the go. She said, all right, let's do it. Monday, boom, get back. Next day in the morning, start searching everything. Got the insurance. Got Wilson sent us ball. Oh no, first year was bring your own ball, but I already had some balls from training. Got the gym, everything. Got the coaches, videographers, photographers. 150 kids come out first year. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then so like I was telling you, from year one, in the like we love energy. Like you gotta bring it. Like I said, if you want to be cool, you can get out. You gotta bring
work hard,
crazy amount of energy in this gym because that's what we bring. So first year, everybody's shy. You know, like that's how girls are. Like they're shy. Everybody's like nobody wants to clap it up, or if it is, it's like 3 of them. Now this year, even last year, like gym is going crazy. Before we even start in warm ups, everybody jumping with jumping in the crowd, music playing. Like is such a 360, and that was the main thing that I like when I was thinking about wanting to do it. Like before I even told E about it, was like I want to change the culture down here of South Florida.
Yeah,
because it was like it's even now it's a couple teams that's good, but it's not enough girls playing. So I wanted to bring that motivation, see it in the flesh, like, oh, I could do it. Because like I said, it's a high percentage of girls that by the time they get to 14, they quit or they just give up on what they're doing. So that's right before you get to high school, before you can even reach, you know, your highest potential. So that we get to touch a lot of the middle schoolers, and I feel like we always get DMs, especially to her, to me, from the parents, like, man, my kid's been working out 2 times a day now. They're going crazy, like working out in the gym, weight room, everything. So it's inspiring to us. Like they think it's just like them, but they inspire us the same amount. So
and that energy comes from the confidence of you doing it for a few years now, and then on top of that, her being there and her presence and them seeing like, hey, look, boom. And so Erica, if you see this, I might not mean much to anybody, but I appreciate you taking that advice and being there and doing it, because I think that it helps the girls here from South Florida. I think it gives them confidence. I think it sheds a different light that we haven't had, and you're doing something that hasn't been done. I think you got good guidance here by that happening, and I appreciate the persistence of you getting her to do it, and she finally did it. And I think the impact of that is going to last so much longer.
No, it's like I said, within this. Oh no, that was our 4th year last year. This year that just passed, that was our 4th year. Next year is a 5th year, so it's gonna be probably.
It's gonna be bigger.
It's gonna be like we're planning it like 5th year, 10th, like it's a big one. So, but that was the 4th year.
Oh, like an anniversary one.
Yeah, like your 5th year. That's like all right. So, but that was our 4th. So in 3 years, you could tell like the difference, like because what we preach energy, work hard. So the first year is shy, people were working hard, but then you see the kids that have come for like 2-3 years, and it's just like they're coming in. They know what time it is. They're coming in screaming, clapping, like it's totally different. And then you could just see like it's more girls, training. We will the 3rd year, Adidas sent. Every camper James Hardens. Every kid had Hardens. This past year, they sent another 150 shoes for every single camper, bags. Like Adidas, shout out to Adidas because they definitely look out for us.
They're always looking out.
Yeah, like they, think of 120 Hardens. Like put that math together. Like, and these are James Harden. They're not just giving us like, all right, look, this is what we just got in the back. Like James Hardens. They released on Saturday. They gave it to us. No, they released Sunday. We had them in camp Saturday for all the kids. So it was, and then this year we had food, everything. So it's continuing to grow. And I see, because I go to a lot of girls' games, I see the difference. Like, not just saying it because it's my camp or me and Erica's camp or her camp. Like, I'm saying it because I'm at the games. I'm seeing more girls training. Like I'm seeing different things for girls going on. So it's for me, it's super gratifying because it's making a change. It's making an impact on these girls, and it's not letting them quit on their dreams. It's continuing to push them. And for me, that's the most important thing. Like even now in the open runs tomorrow and Thursday, I'm inviting a lot of the middle school and high school girls that I train or that I feel like it could motivate them. And I'm bringing them there, let them see it in person.
In real time.
We don't have a WNBA team in whole Florida. So if they to go see a WNBA player, it's probably if you go to the camp and that's one day.
Or Atlanta.
Or you got to fly over to a game. So it's like, I want them to, because I know what it did for me when I was young. So I'm trying to do the same thing to give them motivation, give them inspiration, see it in the flesh so they could see, like, I could do this. Like, because that's how I felt. I know that's how I felt. And I feel like that's how I think most people think. Like, they feel like people are just superheroes when they're just normal. And once you see it in the flesh, like, nah, they're just a human being. They just work super hard and they're talented and they grind for what they want. Then that could give you the utmost, like, motivation to push yourself to be anything that you want to be. Yep. And that's what we preach every camp. Every kid I come across, that's what I preach to them. Even if it's not going to be basketball, just work super hard and those qualities that I said earlier.
Now, before we wrap it up, I just want to let the people know where they can get DSBG, where they can find you for training.
Yeah.
All the links of everything he's about to say will be down below in the description box. So it's going to be down there, all the information. So he's going to give it to you now, where you can get the DSBG, where you can contact him for personal training, group training, whatever it is that you may need. It's all going to be down there.
So the workouts, DSBG _workouts. The DSBG brand is at DSBG48 on every platform.
Okay.
And the website is don'tsettlebegreat.com.
Okay.
That's about it.
That's about it?
Yeah.
We'll have
other things, but
you can plug that in if you want.
It's like I have like media people that's the main thing right there.
Okay.
Don'tSettleBeGreat.com and DSBG _workouts.
Okay. So all that will be in the description box below if you want to get in contact with him. If you want more information. I hope this helped out somebody out there. That's the goal of every podcast, is to tell someone's story, to say their journey. And what I liked about this podcast is that not only did we hear his story, but we heard some stories of people that are close to him that are doing some inspiring things, not only in their professional careers, but in the community. And I think that, I learned something from this as well. So I hope everyone gained something from this podcast as much as I did. And again, it's another great episode. Thank you for tuning in to Flavor in Your Ear podcast for another one coming up soon. I'm Danny signing out.
And I'm Danny too. And look, man, anybody that's really working towards something, just continue to be a good person. Continue to grind even through the adversity. It's gonna be times that you want to quit every single day, but as long as you continue to push and you do the right thing and grind. And also a big thing for me and the people that I know their success stories is having a good group of people around them.
Absolutely.
Because, you could be around some bad people and that vibe will make you quit, make you give up, because you could easily, defer to them type of people. So just have good people, believe in yourself over anything that anybody says, like family, like anybody. Believe in yourself over anybody and just work towards it. Don't just believe in yourself and not work. Like, work super hard for it and it'll come. Like, with time, it's gonna come. It's not gonna come easy. Even now, it's like 5th year in the training and my brand, and I'm still going through certain stuff. That's life, but that's what prepares you, gives you experience. Like, wisdom comes from experience. So if you never experience struggle, you never gonna know how to get over it or get better. So
adversity is your greatest strength.
Yeah, so I just want to say that for anybody that's watching, kid, adult, anybody that's trying to do something.
And with that being said, I'm gonna sign this off with saying, "Don't settle, be great." Flavor in Your Ear podcast. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you next time.
Yes, sir.